Is Social Security about to change your life? Imagine waking up to find your monthly check has increased by a whopping 37% and it's arrived days earlier than expected. This isn't just a dream for millions of American seniors, it's becoming reality through recent changes to Social Security benefits. But who exactly qualifies for these game-changing improvements? And what do you need to do right now to make sure you don't miss out? Plus, with new identity verification requirements rolling out nationwide, how will this affect your ability to access these enhanced benefits? Stay tuned, this information could be worth thousands of dollars to you or your loved ones. Before I dive into all the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates about your benefits. Also, smash that like button if you or someone you know relies on Social Security. It helps more seniors find this crucial information. And leave a comment letting me know which part of today's video was most helpful to you. Today I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the early deposit program and the substantial benefit increase that could put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket this year. This is especially important for low-income seniors who have been struggling to make ends meet with rising costs hitting every aspect of daily life. We'll also cover the new in-person identity verification requirements that are causing significant controversy, particularly in states like Nevada. Let's start with the early deposit program. The Social Security Administration has recognized that many beneficiaries face critical timing issues when bills come due before benefits arrive. In response, they've implemented a new system to deposit checks several days earlier than the traditional schedule. This means no more anxious waiting or juggling bills until your payment hits your account. For many seniors on fixed incomes, this timing change may seem small, but its impact can be enormous. Think about it: when your rent, utilities, and medication costs all come due at the beginning of the month, having your benefits arrive even 3 days earlier can be the difference between making payments on time or facing late fees and disconnection notices. This is especially true for the roughly 40% of seniors who rely on Social Security for more than half their income. But who exactly qualifies for these early deposits? Generally, if you're already receiving Social Security retirement, disability, or SSI benefits through direct deposit, you may be automatically enrolled in this program. However, there are specific requirements regarding your banking information and benefit status that determine your eligibility. Your deposit date may also be determined by your birth date and the type of benefit you receive, with some beneficiaries receiving payments on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of each month. One question many beneficiaries have asked is whether this changes the amount you'll receive. The answer is no. The early deposit program only affects when you receive your benefits, not how much you receive. However, it dovetails perfectly with the other major change we're discussing today. Now for the big news that has everyone talking: the potential 37% boost to monthly benefits for low-income seniors. This substantial increase is targeted specifically at helping those most vulnerable in our society. The increase is designed to bring benefit amounts closer to the actual cost of living many seniors face today, especially considering that housing, healthcare, and food costs have risen dramatically over the past few years. You might be wondering, how do they determine who's low income for this boost? The qualification is based on several factors including your total annual income, assets, and whether you receive other forms of assistance. Typically, individuals with annual incomes below $19,400 and couples below $26,100 may qualify, though these thresholds can vary based on your specific situation and location. What many people don't realize is that this increase isn't simply a percentage applied to your current benefits. The actual calculation is more complex and takes into account your work history, current benefit amount, and supplemental security income eligibility. For some beneficiaries, particularly those who worked in lower-wage jobs or had gaps in their employment history, the percentage increase could actually exceed 37% in some cases. Another misconception is that this increase is temporary. In fact, once approved, this boost becomes part of your permanent benefit calculation, adjusted annually for cost of living increases just like your regular benefits. This makes it even more important to ensure you're receiving everything you're entitled to. What many people don't realize is that you must take specific actions to ensure you receive these increased benefits. The system won't automatically enroll everyone who qualifies. You need to verify your eligibility and in some cases submit additional documentation to the Social Security Administration. One question I hear frequently is, if I already receive SSI or SSDI, will I automatically get this increase? The answer is not necessarily. While some beneficiaries will see automatic adjustments, Others need to update their information with Social Security to reflect their current financial situation. This is particularly true if your income or living situation has changed since you initially applied for benefits. Another common question: does this affect my other benefits like Medicare or food assistance? This is an important consideration because in some cases, increased Social Security benefits could impact other assistance programs. However, special provisions have been made to minimize these effects for the most vulnerable seniors. For example, there are specific income exclusions for determining Medicaid and SNAP eligibility that may help you maintain these critical supports even as your Social Security income increases. The timing of these changes has created some confusion. Some beneficiaries have already begun seeing these increases, while others will see them implemented over the coming months. The rollout schedule depends on your benefit type and sometimes even your birthday. For retirement benefits, the implementation is happening in waves based on the last digit of your Social Security number, while SSI recipients may see changes implemented all at once. Now, let's talk about a major development that could affect both new applicants and existing beneficiaries: the new in-person identity verification requirements. The Social Security Administration has announced that they will require in-person identity checks for both new and existing recipients. This represents a significant shift from the more flexible verification methods used during the pandemic and in recent years. What does this mean for you? If you're a new applicant for Social Security benefits, you'll need to visit your local Social Security office in person and provide multiple forms of identification. This typically includes a government-issued photo ID like a driver's license or passport, proof of citizenship or legal residency, and documents showing your Social Security number such as a Social Security card, W-2 form, or tax return. But what's causing significant concern is that even existing beneficiaries may be required to complete these in-person verifications. According to the new policy, the SSA may periodically require current recipients to re-verify their identities, especially if there are any red flags in their accounts or if they haven't updated their information in several years. This brings us to the situation in Nevada, where there's been substantial pushback against these new requirements. Senior advocacy groups and disability rights organizations in Nevada have raised serious concerns about the burden these in-person requirements place on vulnerable populations. Nevada presents unique challenges due to its vast rural areas where many seniors live far from the nearest Social Security office, sometimes requiring drives of over 100 miles to reach an office. Nevada state representatives have highlighted that many elderly and disabled residents lack reliable transportation, face mobility challenges, or have health conditions that make in-person visits difficult or even dangerous. They've also pointed out that the state's extreme summer temperatures create additional hardships for vulnerable seniors attempting to travel to these required appointments. The controversy has led to proposals for alternative verification methods in Nevada, including video conferencing options for rural residents and mobile verification units that could visit senior communities and assisted living facilities. Some lawmakers have also suggested allowing certain medical providers or legal representatives to assist with identity verification for homebound individuals. What's particularly concerning is the potential impact on benefit continuity. According to some reports, failure to complete these new identity verification requirements within the specified timeframe could result in a suspension of benefits until verification is completed. For seniors living on fixed incomes, even a brief interruption in benefits could be financially devastating. So what should you do to prepare for these new requirements? First, ensure your identification documents are current and readily accessible. This includes your Social Security card, state ID or driver's license, birth certificate, and any immigration documents if applicable. Second, if you have mobility issues or transportation challenges, start exploring options for assistance with visiting your local Social Security office, such as senior transportation services or asking family members for help. For those with severe disabilities or medical conditions that make in-person visits impossible, the SSA has stated they will develop accommodation procedures, though the details of these accommodations remain somewhat unclear. If you believe you'll need such accommodations, it's advisable to contact your local office as soon as possible to discuss your situation. What steps should you take right now regarding all these changes? First, check your My Social Security account online to review your current benefit information. If you don't have an online account, now is the perfect time to set one up. Second, gather documentation of your income and expenses, as you may need these to verify your eligibility for the increased benefits. Finally, consider contacting your local Social Security office directly to inquire about your specific situation and any upcoming identity verification requirements that may affect you. Remember that these benefit increases can make a significant difference in your quality of life. For many seniors, this could mean the difference between choosing between medications and food or being able to afford both. It could mean having reliable transportation to medical appointments or being able to maintain your home safely. Another aspect worth noting is the retroactive nature of some of these increases. In certain cases, if you qualify for higher benefits but haven't been receiving them, you might be eligible for back payments covering the months you should have received the higher amount. This could result in a substantial lump sum payment in addition to your monthly increase. I've also heard from viewers who are concerned about tax implications. Will this 37% increase push you into a higher tax bracket? For most low-income seniors, the increase shouldn't have significant tax consequences since Social Security benefits are only taxable if your combined income exceeds certain thresholds. However, if you have substantial income from other sources, it's worth consulting with a tax professional to understand how the increased benefits might affect your overall tax situation. For married couples, these changes can be particularly complex. If both spouses receive benefits, how these increases are calculated and applied can vary based on whether you receive benefits based on your own work record or your spouse's. In some cases, spouses may see different percentage increases depending on their respective benefit types and amounts. Many viewers have also asked about survivor benefits. If you're receiving benefits as a surviving spouse, the rules for these increases may apply differently. Generally, survivor benefits are based on what the deceased worker would have received, so any increase would be calculated based on that original benefit amount, potentially providing substantial relief for widows and widowers struggling on reduced incomes. These changes to Social Security represent one of the most significant improvements to the program in years. The combination of earlier deposits and substantially increased benefits could dramatically improve financial security for millions of American seniors. However, the new identity verification requirements add a layer of complexity that beneficiaries need to prepare for. It's crucial to stay informed about these developments, especially if you live in areas like Nevada where implementation challenges have been identified. By understanding both the benefits and the potential hurdles, you can better navigate these changes and ensure you receive the full support you're entitled to. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit. Drop a comment below with any questions you still have about these changes, especially if you've experienced these new verification requirements firsthand.